Ugh. Oh my God. Whew. Okay, let's get this podcast on the road. Oh, folks. Woo-wee. I had to shovel and it sucked. It sucked in a big way. How's everybody doing? Was that good mic placement? I don't know with this new shitty shit-ass mic that I had to get because my camera died and this new mic fucking sucks. And I have no money. And yet I just keep doing a podcast despite my better judgment. Yeah, it's a rough one out there. I just came from the secret fireman station. It sucked. And there's snow everywhere. And I'm just really glad to do it on the drawbridge. Drawbridge did not win. So let's get this on the road, huh? Let's go. I don't even have my computer on. I just want to get this one done. I am ready for this one. And by ready, I mean I grabbed a random pen and I see a notebook here because today's is to doodle. I must doodle. Here's me doodling. Check me out. All right. Anyway, another day in this country. Let's get a show going. No sponsor this week, so it's going to be a rando again. Ignore that. All right. What do we need to do a podcast? You know, the usual things. Like a mic that fucking sucks and is never good no matter how far away you place it. I'm dead serious, folks. I'm so steamed about this. Please donate so I can buy new equipment. How does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? I swear to God, here it's blown out, but then here I got nothing. It's like I can't find the proper fucking... I don't have time to... This is how this show works, though. It's 2025 if you're watching this in the year 2026 and trying to figure out what the creatures that inhabited this planet did wrong. Anyway, time for me to doodle on this show that everyone loves. All right. Yeah. Let's do this. It's car casting time, babies. Wiki roulette. That's how we do it. I don't know what a narrow-nosed chimera is, but I really wish that was today's topic. All right, folks. Opening line. Something good for doodling. Not a Google doodle. They're evil, right? They're being quietly evil, right? Like they're laying low and letting all the other tech companies look real evil, but like they're going to hit us with something too, right? Oh, God. Let's make some drawings. And then this is where the theme song goes. I might edit all that bullshit out. I just got to get this knocked out and go to bed. Yeah, I sleep during the day now. It sucks. Anyway. You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 165. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert will do a little sketch later, but first... Housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Hey, you know what wasn't a doodle but was in fact a finely well-crafted and designed image, the Fix My Carcast logo, which you can get on a shirt, and you can put that shirt on your torso, and then, I don't know, someone can take it off your torso. They'll be like, hey, nice shirt. It would look better on your floor, my floor, somebody's floor. Anyway, get that shirt, get it on the floor, sex sells. No new donors this week. The total raise for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $2,442. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is I will record an episode at sea. Fun fact, did you know this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? Crumple it up and toss it. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to remake the whole thing from scratch, but I only have 10 minutes? I'll do it. $50. Yeah, that was always an option. Nobody ever asked me to, but yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. Also, if you would like to own the painting I made in episode 118, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. That's right. Own a piece of Fix My Car Cast history while you still can. If you'd like to see the painting before you buy it, it can be viewed in the raw video version of episode 118 over on Patreon. Link in the description. And that's the last time I'm ever saying that. Find out why next week. And yes, the painting is in the room. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is, I don't know, Trump? Do you hear enough about that guy? I have some thoughts on that guy. Want to know more? Donate today. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most. And we've got us another singles night tie. Ties are broken by whichever city listened to the most episodes. And our big winner is Westbrook, Maine. Congratulations, Westbrook, Maine. Back on top again. Let it be known that your Robinson Nature Center, Meriwether Post Pavilion, and Doodle Hatch Interactive Art Museum are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about Bane of Tulloch while doing it like a beat poem. You can see video of the original recording, plus a little extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about a whole bunch of shit. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: do it like a bad date, make a smoothie, record it inside a giant bird statue, and our returning gimmick, speak in gibberish. Let's review. Number 1, do it like a bad date. That's right. This podcast will be like you are sitting across from one of the worst dates of all time. I am, of course, one of the worst dates of some time. Number 2, make a smoothie. Pretty cut and dry. I'll put a bunch of shit in a blender and I'm going to drink it. And yeah, I'll be blending on the show, so you know the audio mix is going to be great. Number 3, record it inside a giant bird statue. I don't know if I got a giant bird statue laying around. I'll record the episode inside of it. And our returning gimmick, number 4, speak in gibberish. Would a gitch, it a guy, at a gam, to the garridigable, at a gat. Long story short, don't pick that one. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, April 3rd at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is Doodle. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode, so I'll take inspiration from a randomized Wikipedia page, which is Wikipedia. That's totally different. But our randomized Wikipedia page is not long enough, but an interesting topic. Let's move on. Okay, I have no idea what this is, but it looks like some Bible stuff. Yeah, this one's nice and lengthy. My friends, we're talking about the day of the Lord, and the gimmick never said that I have to doodle what the topic is, but I guess I'm going to doodle the day of the Lord. Now, I want to give you a little backstory here. I'm not a doodler, which surprises a lot of people. I feel like often people are like, oh, if you're creative, then you must be a doodler. I like to think of myself creative. You can listen to this show or listen to my music and tell me if I'm wrong. Or see my comedy if there's ever a venue I can get out to again. But you never make money doing comedy ever, and especially not live comedy now, because leaving the house, who has the time? Corporations definitely didn't invent being an introvert. So anyway, Day of the Lord. Let's doodle a little bit of the Lord. Okay, I guess for starters, I'm going to draw the Lord. I don't know if I want to talk you through what I'm drawing. But you know what? I don't want to do a stereotypical Lord. I guess, is Lord a gendered term? We'll tell you what, we'll split the difference. I'm going to say this god has a big bushy beard and a vagina. So I'm just going to doodle that Lord, but let's learn more about the eschatological term for the Christian term for Sunday, see Lord's Day, and for the 2020 film, see the Day of the Lord. Okay. Well, here's a bitchin' painting. What the fuck? I could talk about just this painting forever. My friends, please look up the painting, The End of the World, also known as The Great Day of His Wrath by John Martin. Holy fucking shit, is the Day of the Lord the apocalypse? I'm gonna tell you, I grew up in a cult that was very apocalypse focused, and anyone who I knew in that cult who is still in that cult is probably looking around saying, I told you so right now. I'm going to base this off of what's in the article, but we may have hit a topic that I can talk about. Jesus Christ, no pun intended. Yeah, I think this is, holy shit. Wait, synagogues of the Great Tab. The Day of the Lord may also refer to the writer's own times. Okay, so there's a Hebrew usage. Hoo-wee. Anyway, I'm supposed to be doodling, so let me draw a vagina god here. Vagina god. Do 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 do. Vagina god. Do 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 do. Vagina god. Do 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 do. And before you're worried that I'm going to get sued by Jim Henson or the Muppets, did you know that song actually comes from a porno movie? Look it up. You learn something every day on Fix My Car Cast, or I guess every week. The Day of the Lord, motherfuckers, is a biblical term and a theme used in both the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament, as in, quote, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. And that's Joel 2:31, cited in Acts 2:20. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Joel, Acts... Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. I was like, are they like name dropping each other? Anyway, I don't know if I'm supposed to do my doodling and then show you the doodling, like show you my progress. If you're watching the video version, I guess this is my bearded god with a vagina, and I guess you know what? Big old tits too. I feel like yeah. For me. Any self-respecting Lord, just knows that a beard accentuates the tits. So let's do a nice low-cut blouse, and yeah, my God's really rocking some chest hams here. Okay, so in the Hebrew Bible, the meaning of the phrases, and by the way, I'm not super up on religious depictions of deities. I hope this isn't offensive to anyone. I think it's okay. To draw my big titty god girlfriend. All right, so let's see. In the Hebrew Bible, the meaning of the phrases refers to temporal events. Oh, you're speaking my language. Such as the invasion of a foreign army, the capture of a city, and the suffering that befalls the inhabitants. This appears much in the 2nd chapter of Isaiah, which is read on the Sabbath of Vision immediately before the 10th of Av. Boy, I have not gone near some Bible in a while, and I'm like, whoo, I'm out of my element, Donnie. Also, I'm not doodling enough. This is a wide god. This is a very wide god. I'm gonna go like a smart little skirt, and some big old feet. You know what? God's got big feet. You know what they say? Big feet, big vagina, and this god's got just a massive puss. All right, cool. So there we go. That's my image of God. Oh, sorry. I should cover up the gams. Not the gams, but the tootsies, because that's God's moneymaker. I've always loved the phrase "more money than God" because it almost is it's admittedly dumb, right? Like it's supposed to be dumb, right? I've always loved the phrase "more money than God" because it makes no sense. Like to me, that's like more street cred than a puppy. Though even that makes sense because a lot of puppies have their own Instagrams now. Some of the puppies that I know are on Instagram. All right, in the New Testament, the day of the Lord may also refer to the writer's own times, or it may refer to predicted events in a later age of Earth's history, including the final judgment and the world to come. In caps, well, not caps, but capitalized, world and come. World and come. Capitalized. The expression may also have an extended meaning in referring to both the first and second comings of Jesus Christ. The man had stamina, I'll tell you that. Hebrew Bible usage, first used by Isaiah and subsequently incorporated into prophetic and apocalyptic texts of the Bible. Now, I feel like apocalyptic. So this girl boss right here, this God boss, I gave him a big old smile, but maybe I'll put some like eyebrows there. Now it's a devious smile. Yeah, I came to smite, baby. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what some of the elements of this apocalyptic judgment is. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Kind of a dick move, God. Hey, are you having a great day? Well, fuck you. End quotes, God. Another early use of the phrase is in Amos 5:18-20, but no example given. All right. Wright suggests that the phrase was already a standard one, and Amos's hearers would take it to mean the day when Yahweh would intervene to put Israel at the head of the nations, irrespective of Israel's faithfulness to him. Yet Amos declares, "Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. Why do you long for the day of the Lord? That day will be darkness, not light." You ever want something so bad? Oh, okay, sorry. So darkness. So part of my doodle is going to be darkness, which if you have to make it dark with a pen, that's going to take up a lot of time, which is great because I haven't been doodling as much as I feel like I should for the doodle gimmick. So my apologies. Oh shit, did I ever get a thumbnail? Well, I'll get one right here. Look at me, just doodling away like a creative little doodler. That's how you know you're creative, is because you doodle. I have some friends who are really good doodlers. I don't know if I should call them out by name. I feel like if they're public figures. I have a stand-up comedian friend who makes amazing doodles. And I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't know if he wants his name on my show. But another part of me is like, I really would love you to check out his doodles. Tell you what, compromise. I'll see what screen name he uses, and I'll drop that in the bonus episode because I don't know what it is off the top of my head right now. Oh wait, also get off of all social media. It's evil, and I had to leave it for my own safety. And frankly, I don't feel great about having a podcast where I'm loudly trans either. But you know what? Hey, fuck off. If you're gonna come get me for the right reasons, bitch. Yeah, I mean, let's start making the art that's going to get us locked up. I mean, I don't want to get locked up for shitty art. I want to get locked up for art that says, here's how I feel, motherfucker. So anyway, yeah, if this show ends and I haven't raised the money, keep in mind it's because they took me away. Yay, this is a historically significant podcast, as is most art made in America right now, I would hope. And even if you're making a dragon with a giant cock, you know what? If you're trans, fucking live your fucking truth right now. Gee, why do I not want to talk about very real apocalypses that could be happening right now? Anyway, this is Vagina God just bringing the darkness, because this will be a day of darkness, apparently, according to this. Joel 2:32. That's 2:32, holds a promise that on the day of the Lord, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Oh, shit. Now, can I do that in advance? Can I just go, yo, Lord, and then I'm safe? I don't think it works like that. I almost said Lorne, but also terrible, and will bring about the apocalypse. In Zephaniah 1:8, boy, I haven't Bibled in so long. I thought that, I was like, Zephaniah? Do I not know? Book of Daniel? Boy, I do not know my books of the Bible anymore, which is confusing because it's already a book. In Zephaniah 1:18, the day of the Lord is equated with the day of the Lord's sacrifice. This has led Christian interpreters to equate it with Jesus' death. Oh no! Well, now this looks real horrible because, I've got this smirking, mischievous, boobid God being like, yo, I'll kill my son. I don't give a fuck. Let me make a day of darkness and kill my own child? Gee, this book's kind of fucked up. I'm the first to notice that. Anyway, let me just continue coloring in what's going on. Boy, I am the Rob Liefeld of podcasts because I also can't draw feet. Look at these. Look at this fucking monstrosity. Yeah, that's not a moneymaker. That's not. I'm sorry, boob god, but you're not getting on WikiFeet. I'm so sorry. Anyway, God is not on WikiFeet. Sometimes I say stuff just because I want to have title options. All right, let me finish with the darkness because then I think I need to move to another page. Start a new doodle. This is a very long article, so there's New Testament usage. Here we go. So we're out with the Old Testament, in with the New, I say. This promise is also picked up in the New Testament when Joel 2:28-32 is quoted in Acts 2:17-21. The phrase is also used in 1 Thessalonians 5:2. 5:2, that's a short king, which speaks about the day of the Lord coming suddenly. A short king of kings, if you will. How tall was Jesus? Do we know? Well, let's find out. Sponsor that as a topic. You can sponsor any topic on this show. Or tell your friends to sponsor a topic if you're sick of paying to sponsor topics. There's so many episodes of Baywatch I could review, friends. All right, the book of Revelation, not Revelations. I know that's a big no-no. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. The phrase alludes to a judgment for eternal rewards in 2 Corinthians 1:14, Kubrick reference, where it says, "We are your rejoicing, even as ye also are ours in the day of the Lord Jesus." So it looks like a happy time of almighty fucking wrath. Seems to contradict itself, but hey, that's the book's whole deal, right? You keep people in a cult by contradicting yourself. It seems counterintuitive. It almost feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but no, it's true. I'm fascinated by cults, and not just because I grew up in one. But that's part of it. Contradictory information keeps you in a religion. Isn't that nuts? Like you'd think, no, if everything made sense. No. It's the contradictions that actually keep you in that religion. Full disclaimer, no religion of any kind is a cult, or whatever, I guess. The book of Revelation describes the day of the Lord as an apocalyptic time of God's almighty wrath, which comes upon those who are deemed wicked. The text pictures every man hiding in the rocks of the mountains. Okay. During a major earthquake to attempt to hide from God's wrath, while celestial phenomena turn the moon blood red and the sun dark. Well, let me tell you, I'm now regretting that I didn't get anything colored. I feel like doodling suggests whatever you have on hand. I've got a lined yellow legal pad that I'm vigorously spanking for some reason. Yeah, dirty little pad. Turns the moon blood red and the sun dark. So I'm going to draw a dark sun. Now, what does that look like? And frankly, how does a blood red moon look any different? It's just going to be a colored in circle and a colored in crescent. A croissant, if you will. I would love a blood red croissant. Do they make strawberry croissants? I bet they do. Also, am I pronouncing it correctly? I took 6 years of French, and at this point, I can't even remember the word for right, as in a right turn. I just told a friend this story the other day. A few years after graduating from college, I had to give, when I say a few years, it was probably 10. Almost exactly 10. Time is gross. No, it was 6. Sorry, I mixed up high school graduation and college graduation. I had to give someone directions in French, and I both did not know the directions, or did I know French that well, And I realize I probably just should have said, hey, no. But what I did was I made absolutely sure that I had the directions correct. Because at first I was like, oh no, you're not supposed to give directions if you don't know. I'm a bad person. So I just stood there like un memento, whatever. Jeez, I don't even know the words now. But yeah, what the hell am I telling you about if not the end of the fucking world? If you're not getting enough of that when you turn on the fucking news. All right, the precise order of events mentioned in Revelation. The moon turns blood red and the sun turns dark before the great day of the Lord. I don't know, this day doesn't seem that great. I don't know, one time I had 4 dates, and that was a pretty great day. Sponsor that as a topic. Here's a hint. Only 3 of them were scheduled. The 4th was a bonus. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to talk about. As a polyamorous person, it's like, all right, what is the max number of dates you've gone on? And I guess it doesn't count if it's a group date, because that's still 1 date. If you go on a date with 4 people because you're in a quadruple, that's still 1 date. But fun question. Get in the comments. Are there comments? You watching this on YouTube? If you are, it's the year 2026. So, I hope you miss me. I hope I'm resting in peace. But yeah, if it's the year 2026, then get in the comments and tell people the maximum number of dates you've had in 1 day, because my number is 4. If you can top it, if you have a story about topping it, you let me know. And yeah, one of them was a bonus date. It was like I got to the end of a very, very busy day. And then, hey, kaboom, you doing anything? And I was like, well, let's make this a 3-dater into a 4-dater. Here we go. We have got the sun going dark and a blood red moon. Frankly, what does the sun going dark even mean? Is that just an eclipse? I'm also fascinated by the fact that the Bible was written a long, long time ago. They didn't know where the sun went at night. I believe I'm paraphrasing one of those atheist assholes. I try to be an atheist, but not an asshole. I don't know, Ricky Marr or somebody said some fucking, these fucking idiots didn't even know where the sun went at night. But that is a good point. This is a book by people who didn't know how electricity worked. So, the sun going dark was probably just, oh God, there's literally blood moons. The moon does turn red sometimes, and the sun does go. Anyway, tribulation of those days, the coming of the Messiah to judge the world. As long as he's Oscar Wilde bitchy about it, that's all I care about. Because we deserve a hard judging. What the fuck is this? Peter 3:8-10 reads, "But, beloved, do not forget this one thing, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years. That old fucking chestnut. That is a real bets hedging for if none of these prophecies come true, waka waka, a day is 1,000 years to the Lord, don't you know? Sorry we've hit a topic I can really bitch about. Maybe not in an Oscar Wilde way or a bitchy Jesus way. Oh man. Look up The Christmas Shoes by Patton Oswalt. If you can, there's an animated version that goes along with it. That's all I'll say. I almost got a laugh with someone else's bit. Go watch Christmas Shoes. 'Tis the season. I mean, it's March right now, but it's also snowing like a motherfucker because I live in Maine. Toledo, Ohio, Maine specifically. Anyway, that's a dark sun and that's a blood red moon. Let's go on to one more page. Woo! Do you hear the plows giving them hell out there? Woo! 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 All right. So, the Day of Reckoning. The Lord's Day is a Christian day of worship. Now, hold the fucking phone. Meredith Kline, don't know who that is, equates the Day of the Lord with the Lord's Day. From the makers of Crime Scene, Scene of the Crime. Still one of the most underrated gags in, I think, any Judd Apatow produced movie, from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I love so much that the police procedural show she's on is called Crime Scene, Scene of the Crime. But enough of that. Let's talk about Day of the Lord, or the Lord's Day, which is usually taken to refer to the Christian weekly day of rest. Klein argues that the Lord's Day mentioned in Revelation 1:10 is not first day of the week, but refers to the already realized heavenly enthronement of the Lord Jesus. Yeah, Jesus, get on that throne. Let's draw Jesus on the throne. All right, let's get a throne going. Yeah, that's a good throne shape. I know a little something about thrones. I know about Games of Thrones. I don't recall much, but I have a web series, Hell of Thrones. I watched all of Game of Thrones in a week. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's the year 2026, and I'm dead. But enjoy Hell of Thrones. By the way, I'll reveal right now, I would love to do another show binge, and I was thinking Rapid Succession is what I'll call it. I've never seen a single episode of Succession. I couldn't tell you a single character, a single line of dialogue, a single plot line. I had a bunch of friends rave about it, and the first thing I smelled was, oh no, is this another Thrones? It's going to end disappointingly, and you're all going to hate it. It sounds like it didn't end disappointingly, so I might get a campaign going. For $1,000, I will watch Succession in a week. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It was much easier to pull off in lockdown. It's not going to be easier to pull off while I have a job. Anyway, I'd like to get one more doodle on the books here. So let me draw Jesus on his throne. Let's see. We got to have he's got a crown, right? A thorny crown, whatever. And then all my, whenever I draw noses, it's always like a Bert and Ernie nose. But okay, here's Jesus on his throne. Let's see. He's got yeah, that works. Yeah, he's a busy man. He's just checking some tweets. All right. So yeah, there's Jesus on his throne, reigning on high. A certain kind of reigning. Okay, so the heavenly enthronement of the Lord Jesus. On the other hand, the apostolic tradition confirms several testimonies of the apostolic fathers and church fathers, which proclaim that early Christians took Sunday as their day of worship and rest. The Didache, the earliest Christian testimony, says, "Come together on the Lord's Day, break some bread, and celebrate Thanksgiving." You know, I didn't know they had Thanksgiving in the Bible times, but that is good to know. Let me just draw. I forgot to put the handle and the lid. Oh, yeah, and I guess, yeah, you're going to want the lid. Okay, so yeah, there is the J-Man. I said checking some tweets, but I guess checking some skeets. That's what they called them on Blue Sky. The only social media that I'm on anymore, because fuck everything and fuck everyone. As always, have a great day, Lord! How was that one? How was my energy? I just got off of a really hard shift at the secret fireman station, and I have to day sleep now, and it's snowing, so when I wake up, I'm going to have to clean off my car, and I'm not looking forward to any of it. And so the very first thing I thought was, when I get home, I got to knock the podcast out. No prep, just get it done. And folks, that's what I've done here today. Where the hell did I put the doodles I just doodled? I guess if you want a better look at the doodles, I don't know if I can readjust the focus while I'm filming here. But come on, baby. Come on, baby. Be my friend. Be my friend. Adjust the focus. Wow, really? Nothing, huh? Nothing, huh? I guess I got to put it where my face is. All right, that's my big boob bearded God. That is the only God that I pray to. Again, I'm an atheist, but well, I pray to my friends. There's a little Bear Claw Billy exclusive for you. Yeah, I realized long ago that I miss the act of prayer because it did feel special as a kid, and I don't do it anymore. And yeah, I'll just tell you this story. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you this story right now. Yeah, one day I was having a rough day, and I remembered that a friend had bought me some snacks. And I remembered that I had them, and I went and ate them, and they were so delicious. And as I threw out the wrapper, I said, I won't say the name of the friend, but I said, thank you for these delicious snacks. And I realized, oh, that kind of felt like a prayer a little bit. And then I was like, thank you so much for these delicious snacks. And thank you so much for the joy you bring to my life. I had a wonderful day spending time with you, and I'm so, so grateful for you. And I hope that things go well for you. And I love you. And I just kind of stopped and was like, what was that? And it was really nice. So there's a little behind the scenes for you. Pray to your friends. You can pray to me if you want, but like I can pray to you. Pray to the people you care about, because guess what? Even if they don't hear it, it reminds you how special they are to you. So that's the takeaway from my silly little show. Here's Jesus taking a shit, and pray to your friends.